It's like so crazy how much life like goes in circles. You know what I mean? Hi guys, it is LBtwink. For those of you who do not know me, hi, my name is Thomas, and I'm just a twink trying to live my best fucking life. This morning, finally grew the confidence and the balls to make this video. For those of you who don't know, I have made a couple videos on my channel about living with HIV. I am 19 years old, so it's not really something that's like super common. I haven't really found anyone else in my kind of like situation. About maybe 6 or 7 months ago, I made a video on YouTube where I told my story. It was honestly fucking iconic, for me at least. It was a time in my life where I had really opened up on camera and really talked about something that is so very important to me. That's gonna lead into today's video. For months and months, I've been thinking about filming this video. It's not one of the easiest topics to really talk about. It's very personal, it's very heavy. It takes time for me to want to come on to camera and do these things, and people have been wanting me to go deeper in my head about things that are going on in me, and so this is going to be one of those videos. If you're gonna hate on this video, if you're gonna tell me that I deserve this and this is what I deserve for being fucking gay, just click off of it. I don't give a fuck about your nasty ass comments. Like I said, I'm just a twink out here trying to live my best fucking life. Whenever I film a video about these topics, I always come back to this park by my house. I always sit down in my car and I talk about it, and I just always come back and do this because this is what makes me feel most comfortable. This is like kind of a little safe place. I'm in my car, I'm literally alone as fuck. I have a list of stuff on my phone that I wanted to touch on. Originally, what kind of like sparked me going on this whole thing is that I saw a thread on Reddit, would you date someone with HIV? Elaborate on why this would or wouldn't bother you. I'm a female who has been HIV positive for 5 years. If I had advocated the use of condoms more, I wouldn't be typing this. For those of you who care to know, I've only been in one sexual relationship after I found out my condition. I was upfront and honest before we had sex. What really got me going were the comments under this. That is what made me want to like come on and talk about this. One of the first comments I read said, even if the risk were that low, it's an unnecessary risk and not one I would be willing to take, especially in light of the fact that most people don't have HIV. Yeah, but there would be no intercourse, not worth the risk even with a condom. I would leave the relationship open to anyone who didn't want to have intercourse with you. Another one, too many other non-HIV fish in the sea, not worth the risk. Honestly, having sex with someone with HIV, even with a condom, is like being in an underwater shark cage. If things break, you're in trouble. My heart goes out to you for your situation, but I, for one, could never deal with that. After reading all of these, it really made me realize that the stigma around HIV, I feel like it's always gonna be there, and it's always gonna be something that people look down upon. For those of you who don't really know what the stigma is around HIV, people who have HIV are more at risk to die, basically gonna get AIDS and die. If you fuck with someone who has HIV, then you're gonna fucking die. One of the reasons I like to come on my YouTube and that I do like to shed light about these topics is because I want to be a part of those group of people who work to break that stigma. I am a very open person about my HIV status because it is a big part of my life to me, obviously. Before I had HIV, how different people treated me versus after they know I have HIV. It's kind of a taboo subject that people don't really like to talk about, but here I am talking about it because let's fucking talk about it. Honestly, for me, when it comes to dating, I don't really date too much. I don't really like to date because dating is just a setup for disappointment. There are times, of course, where you get lonely and you want someone there. Over the past year, I've really realized, especially in this gay community where all of them are very uneducated about this whole topic, and so like once I tell them, they like don't want anything more to do with me. The last time I really ever like dated a guy, it was literally last month. I thought things were going very, very well. We had met very organically. We met at my place of work and we were talking, we were texting like a whole bunch, and everything was seeming so like fluid and smooth. We went on a couple dates and it really seemed like we enjoyed each other's presence. There was one specific night, you guys know me, you know how open I am about this. I kind of blast this all over my social media, and I kind of do that as a coping / defense mechanism because I don't want it to be a surprise to other people, especially ones who I am actively dating. If it's something that they have an issue with, then they don't have to be in it. There was one night he came and he spent the night. It was really chill, like honestly we just cuddled and we went to bed. The next morning we had woken up and we were just like talking and like we were getting into some deep conversations, and he looked at me and he asked me like, oh, can I like ask you a question? In my head I knew this question was gonna pop up because this question hadn't popped up yet. It was something that I was very antsy about wanting to talk about, but then also at the same time, like, I didn't want to scare him off. And he said, what was that post on Instagram about? But it was basically a post where I was talking about how months and months ago I came forward about having HIV and openly, like, and being open about it, and just how proud and like how far I've come and how much it means to me, like all the support that people do give me on here. Just explain to him the whole entire situation. If you guys want to hear that story too, I'm gonna like link a little card up here. He seemed very okay with it, and he seemed like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Like, after explaining everything to him, everything was still going smoothly. I ended up taking him home after I went to go pick something up from my friend. The next couple days we still kept texting, but I could notice he was being kind of weird. It's like, honestly, I expected nothing less. We were literally talking every single day, and not to sound like a clingy bitch, but like I was really starting to like this guy. The days started going, he would start texting me less and less, and I could literally see himself trying to filter himself out of my life. That was one of my like very main dating things that happened to me, where I really was just like, damn, like, this shit's real as fuck. I'm pretty sure he stopped talking to me because of my HIV status. When it comes to being online and being on dating apps, whenever I bring up to someone that I am HIV undetectable, there's a very small handful of guys who are like, oh, it's okay, it's cool. Most of the guys pretty much just will either like block you, they'll ghost you. When someone is diagnosed with HIV positive, they start treatment as soon as possible. And the treatment is just 1 pill a day for the rest of your life. You have your T cells, and then you have your viral load. The viral load is the amount of the virus present in your, like, one single drop of blood. And the T cells are basically your white blood cells. What you want to happen is you want your white blood cells to go up. Those are your T cells. You want your viral load to go down. Once a viral load drops under 50, then you are considered undetectable. When I had first started my treatment for HIV, my viral load was up in the 30,000s. My white blood cells were around like 300. After I started my medication, after the first month, my T cells started going up even more. I could see that my viral load was going down and down and down. My viral load currently is undetectable. I went from having 30,000 copies to an undetectable amount of copies in my blood. Undetectable equals untransmittable. But when it comes to being in the bed, if you are with someone who diligently takes their medication, then there's not really an issue, and that is another part that people don't really know about, and that is something that I want to come on and say. A matter of health-wise, like, you're fucking fine. We've been taught that HIV is AIDS, when really, hand in hand, it's not. HIV leads to AIDS, but it is also, AIDS is like very preventable if you take the right steps. Nowadays, we have the scientific data to tell us that we are infected, but we are not infectious. Like I said, if you're dating someone who has HIV, or if your partner has told you that you have HIV and they're diligent about taking their medication, then you really have nothing to worry about. And that's something that I really can't stress enough, because that's what bitches can't get through their head. Strangers who aren't really educated about it have this association that HIV means dirty. Guys with HIV, if they're taking care of themselves, are probably some of the cleanest people that you know. They're taking care of themselves, and that's something that a lot of people in this world aren't diligent about. Like, there's a lot of people walking around here spreading STDs, but that's not any of your worries when you don't use a condom. Anyone can contract HIV if you're not safe about it, and so honestly, just use a fucking condom. And if you're dating someone with HIV, make sure that you are very open to talking with them about it. They're gonna be the ones who are gonna shed the light to you about what's going on with them, be the ones to help you further understand that it's not a death sentence. Dating someone with HIV really isn't different than dating someone who doesn't have it. It's not a death sentence, like I said. It's something that is manageable, and it's something that I have grown over months and months. I've had it for about 2 years now, and I have never been in a healthier mindset, especially with this topic. Of course, I have my dark times where I feel lonely. At the end of the day, I can sit here and open up on camera and talk about it. For people who can't, for the people who are watching this who do have HIV, like, girl, I feel you. It's hard. It's definitely takes a huge ass mental toll on you. We're all strong. We all can do it. You just have to have the mental capacity, and you have to have the mindset that you can take care of yourself and that you can do this, because you can. And if I can do it, I think you can do it as well. Finally, end this video off, I wanted to bring up the topic of prevention and ways that you can also prevent yourself if you are in a relationship with someone who has it and you want to take the extra precaution. PrEP is basically a pill that you take every single day, and it helps prevent HIV if you are ever exposed to it. Also, if you are in contact with someone who has HIV, they had just told you after and they didn't want to tell you, there's also something called PEP. Basically a pill that you take after you come in contact with it, after the 48 hours you have sex, 1 pill for 28 days, and basically that'll prevent it in all. I feel like I've been able to properly sit down and say everything that I wanted to say on camera. For those of you who do not have HIV, and if you are dating someone with HIV or you might like someone with HIV, know that communication is key. It's not a death sentence for either of you. It's still manageable, and genuinely, they're a normal person, like any other person you would want to be in a relationship is. The only difference is their status, and their status does not define them, just like my status does not define me. It's been really a mental toll. I've been really scared to make videos about having HIV. Those kind of videos are what does well on my channel, and it's because there's not enough people talking about it. There's just not enough people trying to get rid of the stigma, so that is genuinely what I am here to fucking do. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to reach out to me if you are living with HIV, and if you have any questions, my Instagram is going to be linked down below. I'm not really going on here for likes and shit like that. I'm just going on here to help educate people, because I know I wish someone did this for me when I was younger, and I wish I knew about these things. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. XOXO, LBtwink.